Hello. Welcome to Two Dorks Read The Phantom of Manhattan by Frederick Forsyth, in which Natalie and Michael, two Phantom fans on a mission, subject themselves to the book that served as the launchpad for Love Never Dies, Andrew Lloyd Webber's controversial sequel to Andrew Lloyd Webber's Phantom of the Opera. Our story continues.
Ooh. All right. I think we've got time for one more chapter. It's like
Let's see how
3
big
pages.
it is. Okay.
And I get to start because it's a lady.
Oh.
All right. The Report of Amy Fontaine. Society Column, New York World, December 4th, 1906. Well, there are parties, and there are parties! But surely the one held last night at the New Manhattan Opera House following the triumphal rendition of The Angel of the Shiloh must rank as the party of the decade. Attending as I do on behalf of the world readers nearly 1,000 social events a year, I can still truly say I have never seen so many celebrated Americans under one roof. When the last and final curtain came down after ovations and curtain calls too numerous to count, the glittering audiences began to drift towards the great West 34th Street portico, where a jam of carriages awaited them. These were the unfortunates not coming to the party itself. Those in the audience with invitations tarried until the curtain went up again, then walked up the hastily erected ramp over the orchestra pit and up to the stage. Others who had not been able to make the performance came in through the stage door. Our host for the evening was tobacco magnate Mr. Oscar Hammerstein, who has designed, built, and owns the Manhattan Opera House. He took center stage and personally welcomed each guest coming from the auditorium. Among them were surely every name even remotely associated with New York, prominent among them the world's proprietor, Mr. Joseph Pulitzer. That's the one.
Pulitzer.
Yes.
The prize doer.
Yes, him. The stage itself formed a magnificent backdrop to the party, for Mr. Hammerstein had retained the southern mansion that features in the opera, so that we were gathered under its very walls. Round the perimeter, stagehands had quickly placed a range of genuine antique tables which groaned with food and drink, with a lively bar and 6 tenders to ensure no one went thirsty. Mayor George McClellan was quickly there, mingling with the Rockefellers and the Vanderbilts as the crowd swelled and swelled. The whole party was in honor of the young prima donna, Vicomtesse Christine de Chagny, who had just established a magnificent triumph on that very stage, and the most notable people of New York could hardly wait to meet her. At the start, she was resting in her dressing room, bombarded with messages of congratulation, bouquets of flowers so numerous that they had to be sent down to the Bellevue Hospital at her personal request, and invitations to the greatest houses in the city. Moving through the growing crowd, I sought out people whose exploits might fascinate readers of the New York World, and came across 2 young actors, D.W. Griffith and Mr. Douglas Fairbanks, in earnest conversation. Mr. Griffith, fresh from playing in Boston, informed me that he was toying with the notion of leaving New York for a sunny village outside Los Angeles, where he was interested in a crazy-sounding new form of entertainment called biographs. Apparently, these involve moving images on a strip of celluloid. I heard Mr. Fairbanks laughingly tell his fellow thespian that when he became a star on Broadway, he might follow him to Hollywood, but only if anything ever came of the biographs. At this point, a tall Marine emerged from the portico of the mansion and announced in a loud voice, "Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States!" Oh my God.
Ba, 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 da, ba, ba, da, ba, da, ba, ba, ba. Okay, since this is a woman, I'm gonna do the one thing that I probably shouldn't.
Oh, be careful. This is a pretty... You gotta hold it.
I could hardly believe my ears.
Oh, yes.
But it was true. And in seconds there he was. President Teddy Roosevelt, eyeglasses perched on his nose, beaming his cherry grin, and moving through the crowd shaking hands with everyone. Nor had he come alone, for he had a deserved reputation for surrounding himself with the most colorful characters from our society. Wait, wine. That's better. Within minutes, I found my poor hand gripped in the giant fist of former heavyweight champion of the world, Bob Fitzsimmons. while standing a few yards away were another former champion, Sailor Tom Sharkey, and the reigning champ, Canadian Tommy Burns. I felt a midget among these towering men. At that moment, there appeared in the doorway of the mansion the star herself. She descended to a rapturous round of applause, led by the president, who advanced to be introduced by Mr.
Square.
Hammerstein. Yes, the president now loves Christine
Teddy
Daae.
Roosevelt is in for this.
Yeah, he's got to take his girthy person and get him. And he's gonna make her an oh boy.
She already has one.
Oh yeah, but she has a boy. Now he's gonna be an oh boy.
Oh dear. All right.
Oh dear, indeed. That's what she said. Sorry. With an old word gallery, Mr. Roosevelt took her hand and kissed it. To a cheer from the assembled throng, they said, "Just fuck already." Then he greeted Chief Tenor Signor Gonchi and kissed him on the cheek. And the rest of the cast, as Mr. Hammerstein introduced them, he kissed him on the mouth.
Oh, yes.
With the formalities over, our roguish chief executive took the lovely young French aristocrat on his arm and escorted her around the room to introduce her to those he knew. She was especially delighted to meet Colonel Bill Cody, Buffalo Bill himself, whose Wild West show is entertaining crowds across the river in Brooklyn. With him was none other than Sitting Bull, whom I had never seen before, like many of us recall. I recall. A small girl hearing with horror what the Sioux had done to the poor boys at a Little Big Horn. And yet there was this gentle old man, looking as old as the Black Hills themselves. And those hills are old. Okay. Giving the open-handed sign of peace to our president and his French guests and his Mexican slaves. Moving closer to the presidential entourage, I heard Teddy Roosevelt introduce Madame de Changy to his niece's new husband, and soon found a chance to have a few words and lace with her, with the startlingly handsome young man. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. He's just down from Harvard and studying at the Columbia Law School in New York. Of course, I asked him if he contemplated a career in politics like his famous uncle by marriage, and he conceded that he might one day. So perhaps we will hear of Franklin Delano Roosevelt again. With the party livening up, the food and drink circulating merrily, I noted that a piano had been positioned in one corner with a young man at the keyboard, producing light-hearted music of our era, in contrast to the more serious classical arias of the opera. He turned out to be a young Russian immigrant, still with a strong accent, who told me I had not composed some of the airs he was playing himself. I wished to become an established composer. Well, good luck, Irving Berlin. In the early part of the festivities, there seemed to be one person missing, whom many would have liked to meet and congratulate. The unknown understudy who had taken over the role of the hospitalized David Melrose as the tragic Captain Reagan. At first, one thought his absence could be explained by the difficulty of removing the considerable makeup that covered most of his face. The rest of the cast was circulating freely, a pageant of dark blue and gold Union uniforms, with the dove gray. Okay, is that actually color?
Yeah, like,
Okay,
doves
I
are
thought.
gray. It's
Okay, yeah, I was just confused. Of the Confederate soldiers, but even those who had been playing the wounded soldiers of the hospital scenes had speedily removed their bandages and thrown away their rough crutches, and still the mysterious tenor were missing.
His appearance when he came was in the main doorway of of the plantation house atop the double stairway leading down to the stage where we were all enjoying the party. And what a brief appearance it was! Why so silent, these people?
Did you think that I had
God.
left you for good?
Is this extraordinarily talented singer really that shy? Many of those below the portico missed him completely, but there was one who did not. As he came through the doorway, I saw that he had still retained his heavy makeup, the bandage that covered most of his face in the opera, allowing only his eyes to show and a line of the jaw. He had his hand on the shoulder of the young treble who had so entranced us with his singing, Pierre, the son of Madame de Chagny. He seemed to be whispering in the boy's ear, and the child was nodding in understanding. Who let this kid near this boy? Like, who let this kid near this man? Why? I don't like it at all that Eric's lurking around.
Me neither. He used to be Scammo the Clown.
Yeah. Madame de Chagny saw them at once, and it seemed to me a shadow of fear passed over her face. Her eyes locked on those behind the mask. She went very pale, noticed her son beside the tenor in the Union blue, and her hand flew to her mouth. Then she was running up the staircase towards the strange apparition, while the music played on and the crowd roared in conversation and laughter. I saw the two speak intently to each other for several moments. Madame de Chagny took the tenor's hand off her son's shoulder and gestured to the boy to run down the stairs, which he did, no doubt seeking a well-deserved soda pop. Only then did the diva suddenly laugh and smile as if in relief. Was he complimenting her on the performance of a lifetime, or did she seem to fear for the boy? Finally, I noticed him pass her a message, a slip of paper, which she palmed and put inside her bodice. Then he was gone, back through the mansion door, and the prima donna descended the stairwell alone to rejoin the party. I do not think anyone else noticed this most strange incident. Of course not.
He pulled a why not so silent.
It was well after midnight when the revelers, tired but extremely happy, departed for their carriages, their hotels, and their homes. I, of course, hurried back to the offices of the New York World to ensure you, my dear readers, would be the first to know what happened last night at the Manhattan Opera House. Oh, boy.
May I just say, we're done with 84% of the book.
Yup.
We basically have a preface and a little bit more to go.
I'm just gonna check the
Yes.
contents here. Actually, I think I can
Dude, go ahead.
Let's see where we're at. We don't need the preface. I don't need the preface again. Okay. Oh God, I was wrong. I thought we were like more than halfway through. We are actually. This is the second to last chapter of this book. We are on the second to last chapter of this book.
Oh Jesus,
and
we
then
are.
an epilogue.
We are.
Nothing has happened in this book.
This is shit.
Nothing has happened in this book, Michael.
This is absolute dog shit.
This is terrible. Like, the Phantom and Christine exchanged a total of like 20 words in the whole thing. Raoul isn't even here.
He was on his way. He's gonna come next chapter.
I don't know. Apparently Eric has spoken to Pierre, but we don't know what was said, because apparently that doesn't matter.
Yeah, he said, Pierre, you are my son. No, I don't know.
He wanted to show Pierre the beauty underneath.
Oh, God. Oh.
And Christine was just running out to be like, what do you mean by beauty underneath, Eric? Oh, nothing. Don't worry. Here. Bye. Bye, Pierre. Charming child. I love him.
As she laughed and smiled.
Yep.
And then he gave her a note which he put inside her boobs.
Yep. And
I
then,
guess.
Yeah, it was, I don't know. You'd think she'd be done taking notes from this guy. You'd think, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. If the Phantom of the Opera at this stage showed up, with a trumped up kind of fake invitation for me to sing at the opera, and
after the events of the last
and we've got a
musical.
strained relationship where he is my son's father, but he hasn't really been there at all for this entire process. You would think the last thing I'd want from this guy is another note. I'd probably just like rip it up.
Well, to be fair though,
Yeah?
he didn't even know that it was his son.
Well, he did when Madame Giry gave him the letter.
Yeah, and so he sent for her.
I have a son.
I have a son!
I think, this is where he found it out. The exaltation of Eric Mulheim. So he's only known about the kid for the final, oh my god, like the final third of the book. Nothing happened in these chapters.
Okay, I'm just gonna go out on a whim and say this.
Okay.
I do not, that I think that Weber writes like some of the worst like pacings of the world. Yeah, but even he had the frigging foresight, to actually write Eric knowing that, well, not Pierre but Gustav was his son. In the right before the end of the first act.
Yep.
Like this should have happened at like a fucking chapter 9 or something.
Yeah, and not just.
Actually, chapter 8 or chapter 7, because he does know by chapter 10. So I mean,
yeah, he knows, but I mean, it's you hardly look at again. Look at all these extra ass characters. Do we
Charlie
care?
Bloom. Oh Jesus
Armand
Christ! Charlie
Dufour.
Bloom's gonna be like in the last one.
Yeah, he's about to come up again, but he's apparently he's an elevated man now.
And of course, the epilogue is gonna be interesting.
Oh,
I mean,
boy.
okay, they have so many things that they need to finish. I'm not even joking. Like, if we think about it,
Yeah.
they need to finish off what's gonna happen with Darius.
Mhm.
What's gonna happen with Eric?
Mhm.
Is Christine gonna choose, like you said, is she gonna run off with the Phantom? Hardly, but yeah. Or is she going to go back with Raoul when he comes back and basically, well, by the way, if Raoul comes back, is she just gonna go, okay, enough of this nonsense, we know who is his kid, who is his father, now let's go back, and actually be like reasonable.
That's the thing, like Eric was the only one out of the loop for this one. It feels like the only thing that Christine didn't know was that it was Eric, but Eric was the only one who didn't know that the kid wasn't his, or that the kid was his, rather.
Yeah. So now we have this, like, okay, is Darius going to kill Eric? That's gonna be one thing, or like at least try to, because we all know no one can fucking kill Eric.
Yeah.
Is Christine gonna get killed by Darius? Because is Darius gonna be the new Meg?
Is Darius gonna kill Jesus, who is a character?
Is Joseph gonna kill Mammon? Then I have to ask.
Yeah. I gotta know.
Oh, speaking of that,
Yeah.
is Joseph gonna redeem both the Phantom and kill Darius? Or
Is
he
Joseph is Joseph gonna kiss the Phantom and thus redeem him a second time?
Okay, this is bullshit. Like, what the fuck?
I hope Charlie kisses the Phantom again. Like, who couldn't love you, kid?
Yeah.
Oh, the love of a New Yorker. I truly am an American, said Eric.
Yes. You want to know what would be really freaking funny?
What?
Eric just getting a glass of something and just getting, here's looking at you, kid.
I hope they all go out for like Ray's Pizza after this or something.
Oh, God. Oh, you know what would be freaking great?
What?
Everyone at the end of this just says, okay, I know we have a lot on our minds, but what if we all just go to Coney Island and go to the roller coaster? And it ends with the Coney Island waltz.
Yeah.
Because
no.
No.
I know what we're gonna do. I'm gonna play it, but you will not be able to hear it until afterwards.
I can actually play it. Which one?
No. I'm putting it on.
What are you putting
The
on?
end of this book, the end of this, it's gonna be the Seinfeld theme.
Oh. Oh, God. No, I don't know. I think that's gonna be like, well, I don't like Seinfeld, so I'm probably like the one person not to ask about this.
Well, it's a book about nothing so far, right? So,
Yeah, okay, sure, that's Seinfeld for you.
Yeah, that's Seinfeld. It's a show about nothing. It's a book about nothing.
True. But yeah, like, there are so many things that they have to conclude in one chapter. Or two if you count the epilogue.
Yeah.
How the fuck?
I don't know.
This is strange, to say the least.
It's unsatisfying, to say the most, or
Very,
maybe not.
to say the least, I think.
Yes.
It's really weird. I mean, what? Yeah, you first.
I'm just saying that I remember when I started this, I thought, oh, I read this book when I was 13. I certainly don't remember any of it, and now I've learned that there's nothing to remember, apparently.
Yeah, apparently, because we have gone through almost all of it, and nothing has happened.
Oh boy! So
There's been a little bit of singing, and there's been a little bit of this, and a little bit of the devil doing, but nothing else.
Jesus, and Masquerade is real, and
Party
Mammon
rock
is real.
in the house tonight.
Yeah.
Jesus is real.
Jesus is real, but he also Jesus is real, and he lives inside Father Joe's head. So that's
Yes.
both of it.
Yes, that's also like, okay.
But Mammon is real and lives in Darius's head, I think.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, maybe it's gonna be like one of those Clash of the Titans or something.
I need like a Harry Potter versus Voldemort moment between Joe and Darius. Avada screamed Darius.
And Father Kilfoyle just screams, "Expecto Patronum!"
But of course, instead of wands, they've each got a monkey music box. So
Oh
that's
yeah.
where the magic is coming from. Yes.
Oh wait, Kilfoyle has the magic one because it plays Masquerade.
That's true, but Darius has like Mammon, so I'm sure he could make his magical.
Yeah, but I mean, what song is that gonna play?
Oh no, it's gonna be isn't it just I Wish I Was in Dixie? Because that's the
Oh yeah, that was on the one side, and on the other one there was the
Yankee Doodle.
Yankee Doodle went to town, he rode up on a pony. That thing.
Great. It was so great.
It's great, yes.
Oh God, why? Also, I gotta say, thematically, right? Why would you have I guess I don't think they established that it was like the exact same Persian monkey style music box, but did they establish that it was a Persian looking monkey? Like
No, just saying that it had symbols.
So it just had symbols. So maybe that's just an old timey thing then. But it seems like an odd choice that a monkey music box would play Yankee Doodle.
Why didn't frigging Christine recognize it?
Well, she recognized Masquerade.
Yeah, but I'm saying like when he got the monkey, so probably it doesn't look like the Persian one.
Also, wait. Now I'm thinking way too hard about this damn book. Why
We are both.
do they want to? Why would Pierre want to find more Masquerade monkeys?
I don't know.
Like, why would you want more Masquerade monkey?
No, but I think Christine's the one who wanted them because
Why did she want more Masquerade monkey? She already got one.
because
She's
it's really
ours.
valuable.
It's a
No, but-
collector's piece.
It's a collector's piece, indeed. No,
Maybe that's the whole thing.
no, you know what I think it is?
What?
Oh, I just got the best fucking idea. Okay,
What?
so it's a collector's piece because it's the first one before they were popular at Coney Island.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, jeez. So basically, they became popular at Coney Island, and there's this unnamed one that has the same mechanics, the same everything, and it was found in an opera vault by the police found it.
The police found the monkey.
Yeah, the police got it. It's in evidence.
And from what we know now, I think it was left in the jail for evidence. It was kept in custody and only released for the auction.
Yeah, maybe. I think it goes like this then. After the investigation is done,
Yes.
they demand the monkey back.
Yes.
Even though no one knows why it was there in the first place. And they said it was found in the vaults of the opera, like in the cellars of the opera. Still in working order, even though one of the policemen tried to rape it, I guess.
So wait, if it was found in the vaults of the opera still in working
Yes.
order, was it then retrieved and returned to the vaults of the opera by somebody?
Most likely. I mean that's the only thing I can think of.
This is what I don't like this book.
Me neither.
I don't like this book.
It's really, really confusing.
Oh my god.
And I am so happy I started drinking before this.
Yeah, that's good because I'm experiencing regrets, and we should probably call this because I need to collect myself. I'm just gonna moan incoherently from this point forward.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
We should.
All
And
right.
for the next time, you get some drink as well.
Maybe so. Next up is the tutorial of Professor Charles Bloom. Goodbye.
Yeah. Bye, everyone.
Bye.